Yo, ever since Janthir Wilds dropped, Revenant has been out here wilding in these streets, fam. Let's go over one of the most overtuned builds with the Condi Quickness Herald. This build was a lot higher APM before the spear came out, but now it is super easy to play, and I'll let you know how to go about this rotation so you can pick it up and play while carrying for the DPS players in your group. Let's start with the build and gear. For the gear, we are running full Vipers everything with runes of the Trapper and Relic of the Fractal. For the weapons, you are running Spear, both Viper, with your sigils being Torment, Doom, Earth, and Geomancy. There should be no surprises here. It's all the same stuff for a Condi DPS build. For traits, you are going to be running Corruption 131, which are all of your Condi DPS modifiers, Invocation 211, which are some damage modifiers and some boon generation, and then Herald 211, which is what generates your primary boons. In this case, it's Quickness. Your legends are Malix and Glint, and the food you're going to run are meaty asparagus skewers and toxic focusing crystals. So here's how you play the build. It's super easy. You start with Glint and you maintain your elite facet, which is your facet of chaos, and then the fury generation facet, which is facet of darkness. Facet of elements, facet of strength are both used instantly off cooldown in between spamming your other skills. The primary weapon skills that you are going to want to spam are skill 2, skill 5, and then you will use skill 4 only once per legend. You swap legends when you are sub 10 energy. This is more for a pacing thing and the energy management thing, since you aren't really getting anything from it. You're not running charged mist. You are just milking your quickness generation. When you swap legends from Glint to Malix, you are only going to be using your elite, which is Embrace the Darkness, and then you will be using your weapon swap to proc your sigils immediately after swapping legends. I personally don't really track which weapon set to start with. I would assume that it's probably better to start with the Earth Geomancy, going to the Torment Doom, but ultimately all of this is just opening ramp up, so maybe somebody knows. I don't think it matters that much. While you're in Malix, you follow the same spear rotation. You use skill 4 once, you spam your 5, and you spam your 2. You drain your energy from your elite until you are under 10, and then you swap back to Glint. You pop your fury and protection facets to maintain the drain on your energy and provide your boons, and then you weapon swap to activate your sigils once again, and then you just spam your same skills. If you find yourself not performing well in terms of DPS on this build, it is almost entirely from not spamming your spear skills hard enough. The weapon swaps are just bonus DPS, but your skill 5 and your skill 2 spam, alongside ensuring that you're swapping your legends on time and using Embrace the Darkness and the Glint facets, like when you swap legends, is more important for your DPS output. I will say that this build is likely going to get toned down a bit. I find it hard to believe that ArenaNet will kill it, since it was actually good before Janthir Wilds came out, but it will likely be more brought in line with the other boon DPS providers in the future. This build is pretty high APM, but it is very intuitive. It's easy to follow, but there is limited CC and limited utility compared to other Revenant QDPS builds. I mean, it is a Condi build, but I'm sure that if you decided to run one spear and run staff in your offhand and forego the weapon swaps, it would still perform pretty well in most scenarios, and you would have a little bit of extra to give to your group. With that, that is the build. I will be cycling through some of the new builds that came out with the expansion as I get time to learn and play around with them. And if you like this build, you can also check out the Condi DPS Renegade build, which is absolutely insane right now. I would not be surprised to see that build nerfed to the ground in the future. That's why I'm choosing not to really cover it, but you should check that one out too if you are a Revenant enjoyer and you don't mind the energy mechanic that the Revenant has. With that, stay tuned for more build updates as we work through the new changes. I want to thank you for watching. A special thanks to all of my subscribers, and if you dig the content, please consider subscribing. Thanks again, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.